Hey everybody, welcome to issue 6, or penultimate issue of Masks Arcane. This is a Masks New Generation game set in a Vertigo type inspired Southern Gothic, slightly mystical setting. We are joined by our 4 heroes: Rick Soto, Shadow, a psychic vampire played by David, Sila Rue, ghost, undead, maybe really newborn god with amnesia called Revenant, played by Sabine. Bear Minerva, who's like a happy-go-lucky John Constantine who likes ice cream, played by Leandro, and Ash Rodriguez, who also plays Prometheus, played by Andrea. We are playing under the Gauntlet's inclusivity policy. We are playing with the X card. We are playing with lines and veils. Hopefully you already know that by watching these videos, but if not, go back and watch some of the early ones so you get to know the characters and the world better. We will be using a cooldown technique called Stars and Wishes at the end of the session. I have checked in with all the players to make sure I know what they want to try and get out of tonight's game. Other than that, we're playing to find out because it's powered by the Apocalypse game. So it is, say, our penultimate episode. If we were to look at the cover of tonight's comic, there is a second line band moving through a rain-strewn street. They are obviously giving lament to someone as they come across a crossroads, foreshadowing decisions and choices that the team are being forced to make. Let us open today's comic with a set of outside, a panel of outside Barry Liver's mum's cafe, come bookshop, come refuge for the waifs and strays of Crescent City. Because we haven't seen Bear with her 2 moms for a little while, so I think we should figure out exactly how they are feeling about Bear right now. So, when you've been with Sherry, Bear, where have you been? Where have you been camping out? Have you come back? Have you told your moms that you've got back together with her, or is this none of their damn business?
Well, I think when we see Bea come back from the meeting from last session, she looks a bit bedraggled. She a sleeve, one of her sleeves is inexplicably smoking, and she's got like one of her note spells kind of like taped to her cheek, and it looks like she just had just been running. And no, I think she's kind of like lightly sad, because there was a gap between the night shenanigans from last week and getting back together at the bar. So I think she might have lightly dropped her mom, said like, "Oh yeah, Sherry, you've gotten back." But the way Bear's coming back to the novel hovel, she looks like she's in a bit of a state. And she's panting, and she looks like she's just been on a run.
So Marisol then is probably she sort of, as you come in, she head noses down in the book, and then she looks up. There's a moment of a double take as she looks at you, and she runs straight across to you and says, Bear, what has happened?
Do you remember when me and my friends, we went to that vampire party to like gather info, and the info we got, we kind of probably should have asked you about it?
Yes, that's why we put a stake in your purse or your backpack.
You put 5 stakes in my backpack. I didn't. And a load of garlic, and like 3 thermoses full of holy water. I One thing, it takes so long to unscrew the top. There won't be any use anyway. I'd probably be dead.
I only put 2 in. You can blame your mother. She's overprotective.
Yeah, okay, all right. So you know about vampires. So there's this one called Devil Doll. And she's kind of after me.
She sort of raises her eyebrows, and let's frame a flashback scene of all of the team around the table on the shot that we left last issue with, where we see Devil Doll slamming her hand down on the table and calling Bear Minerva a cheating bastard. As team dad Prometheus, how did you react to this?
Out of it there, going over the character keepers and stuff. Apologies.
No problem, mate. Devil Doll was the leader of the Sapphire Court, so a psychic vampire.
Oh yeah, last
Made
session.
out with Bear. Right at the end, she turned up in the last panel and got accused our loved up Bear Minerva of being a cheating bastard.
I think Ash actually responded diplomatically because he didn't want another incident in the Black Dog's domain.
And how about our undead revenant? How would you have reacted to Devil Doll slamming their hands down?
Surprised, slightly scared, fading a little. Just like this, and then looks pretty unsure. Is this an attack or what? I think he will wait. They will wait for what Bea is doing. I mean, this might just be kind of a joke or something. If it's not, they're ready to do stuff, but not proactively.
And Rick, how about you with this vampire getting all up in your grill? Don't they know who you are?
Yeah, I think as she first arrives, he's waiting to see what happens. This is, Bea's party, as it were. So
cool. So, Bea, what was your reaction to Devil Doll?
I think probably Devil Doll slamming the hand has made the chicken wings fly off the table. So she's equal parts annoyed and scared, and I think Bea's like going into her motor mouth kind of like mode. It's just going, what, cheating? What we made out at a party. That doesn't mean exclusivity or anything. We've not even gone out. We've not been contacted. All I've seen you are in my dreams, and you were actually in my dreams, weren't you?
It said, we did more than get to kiss him, Missy. You got to fourth base and you know it.
In a party?
In your dreams. You invited me in.
I don't know what my subconscious does. That's why it's a subconscious. It's all impulse. It's all. Oh.
And she looks over and her eyes are glittering black, no light coming out of them. And she says, and you will like it when your impulses take over. Don't tell me otherwise.
Oh, this is so embarrassing for Bea in front of her friends.
Let's give poor Bea, who seems to be speechless by this, a moment. Does anyone step in at this Monster Hearts 2 talk. At the
Yeah, I think Ash is going to stand up and physically impose himself between the pair of them, look her in those little black eyes, and just say, "Take a walk."
Cool. So how tall is Ash?
Really average teenage height, like about 5, maybe 5'8" at a push.
Cool. Because she's about 4'2", 4'3", right? So she's looking up at you. But
Tiny.
doesn't feel small at all. Her porcelain skin and her sharp white teeth. Sounds like to me though that you are likely trying to provoke her into
Sure.
stepping out. Let me put the link to the roll for your party to the chat window.
Boom, I get 11.
So they do what you want. Do you want to describe what that looks like?
She's currently quite wound up and angry, isn't she?
Yeah.
I think he probably gets right in her space, looks in her eye, and just quietly says, "Take a walk." And I think that causes just like a small emotional reaction in her. And I think she does actually have to get away from the situation at that point.
Yeah. Her teeth sort of come out. Her fingers got a shape and stretch to be long and sharp. She looks at the table and hisses, blowing the candle and the chicken wings all over Bea, causing her sleeve to catch on fire. And she looks at you and says, "This isn't over, lover." And walks away.
I think Ash, still standing, is now just going to glare at Bea a bit. Because you don't seem too innocent right now.
It's almost as if they'd hurt someone or broke something.
Oh, thanks for that.
I will attempt to help Bea put out her burning sleeve or something. Like, I'm embarrassed. You can probably tell that I'm very embarrassed by the whole situation, more than it would actually warrant. But I will at least attempt to sort of help.
Yeah, it's fine. I think Bea's like feeling right now. She wants, crawl into a hole and never leave. So she won't even like notice. They she'll let you.
How are you reacting to Ash giving you the stink eye?
It's kind of deserved. I mean, I say kind of course it is. And just the feeling intensifies. The wanting to crawl into a hole.
Girl, you got game.
I didn't know I had until right now. It's.
How does your XX feel about this?
I don't. Oh God. Oh God. Look, I'll talk to them. I'll talk to both of them. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
No, it won't be fine. People are getting hurt, Bea. But please, talk to them.
Oh, are you telling them how they are and who they are by any chance there?
Is it? I thought I was just being a little bit of a dick. But
oh, yeah. You're like the only teammate who still has influence over me.
The two are mechanically related within this game. It can just be. I'm just asking if you were. If the answer is no, then the answer is no.
No, it doesn't really feel like I'm telling her who she is yet. Like if there was a private discussion, that might have gone in. I feel it needs a bit more from me.
Got ya.
And I'm not ready to go there.
Excellent.
Ash is going to sit down and pick up a chicken wing from the table and just have a chew.
From over on the piano, the black dog finishes singing their song. he's just been singing witchcraft, and he puts his fingers by his eyes, points over to you for back again and over. And then we'll cut back to the present day, where you can see the sleeve, and you've explained the story to your mother, and she says, "Oh my goodness gracious me! Have you gotten involved with a vampire and a witch all at the same time?"
Yeah, I guess. I didn't. Well, one thing, I didn't expect me and Sherry to get back together. It was a tumultuous time. It's just stuff. How does this happen when it feels like you didn't realize you're on a roller coaster and suddenly you're on a loop de loop and you just woke up and you realize, oh, damn, I'm on a roller coaster. What do you do when that happens?
You asked your mum for help, and you stopped pretending that you're a character in a Charlene Harris novel. Says, if it's bad dreams, then I said the good news is Miriam and I can help you with dreams. Go run yourself a bath, get cleaned up. We'll deal with this.
Yes, Mom.
And you can then sort of hear and then hushed, but that sort of tense hush you have when parents are having the serious conversations just outside of earshot.
Bear's clapped on the headphones. It's listening to Pulp.
So after that ended at the Black Cat, where did the rest of you go? Start with Ash. Where did you head to?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
Let me come back to you then. Give you a second because you joined us a little bit later, Andrea. So I'll give you a second and to collect yourself. I'll go to Rick next.
Yeah, I think we see Rick head out of the bar, and as we've seen several times before, he walks down a random alleyway and finds the door to the cathedral in it.
I think
that he heads to the library, which is a kind of almost Escher like place of bookshelves that seem to stretch on beyond any physical containment. And I think we see him kind of wandering along the shelves and sort of grabbing a couple of books off that have all got big, heavy leather bindings on them. Seem to be detailing about vampires and the like lore, and sitting down on a.
Oh, someone's hung. I think it's me. Damn it.
I think so.
Right, sorry, I hung for a second. Seems to be. I'm back. I hope you can hear me.
Yep, can
Cool.
do.
All right, you were sitting down with the books. That's as far as I heard, and then you froze.
That was about it. Yeah. So
Are you looking for something
you
here?
Just in general, like stuff about vampires and what they are and how they are and that sort of thing, but nothing specific.
Cool. Sai, how about you as this?
I think right before Sai leaves, they will just turn to Ash and said, "Well, at least Bea has a kind of girlfriend. Yes. And then slouch off, because they're not that mad at Bea for having girlfriends or making out in a dream. It was kind of exciting anyway, and they shouldn't have watched, and they didn't much. And they're a bit embarrassed. And yeah, and also they have a plan. And the plan involves getting food and finding a place to cook said food.
Okay.
And what I think they will make is a gumbo. Real
Cool.
from scratch kind of gumbo. Will take a bit of time and a bit of preparation. But for some reason they know how to do this, how to make this.
Where are you finding a kitchen for this, Si?
I think I will just wander around, find a house that seems empty. One of these old, large villas. It's empty for the summer or the winter or whatever season we have. And they'll just let themselves kind of in and use the kitchen. Probably make a mess. Because they're a teenager and they don't clean. They try, but probably make a mess.
Okay. Ash, as I come back around to you, let me ask you this question in a different way. How would it feel to Ash to know that the Sun Eater has returned and they're back within the city? What would let them know that was the case?
What would let him know?
Mm. Is it a feeling, a sensation, a portent, or nothing at all?
I actually almost feel that if he wanted people to know he was there, for a moment, there might be what feels like an eclipse. It's not really, maybe it's just a cloud passing over the sun to most other people. But for those that are connected to it, they can feel the darkness.
So yeah, I think it's exactly that. As if to everyone else, it just looks like a thick rain cloud that's come from nowhere over the sun, but to you, it feels like something literally trying to grab and pull the sun from the sky. And you know, if you felt that, then your father and your grandfather would have felt that.
And for a moment, it's just to Ash, it's like an eclipse. You have this big black blob of just this thin halo of light as the darkness kind of consumes it just for a moment. And then the world goes back to normal again.
Excellent. Time passes. The team it was at 1, so it returns to 1. And Ash, you have a time passes move as
Yep.
a legacy, which I'd like you to roll, please.
Whoosh. Let me just find it on my sheet. Okay, roll plus savior to see how the members of your legacy feel. However, before rolling, I need to ask the team some questions. So, David, has Ash been upholding the traditions of the legacy?
I think so. I think that he has been making a stand against the darkness. Possibly not in a way that the members of the legacy would like, maybe, but that's a question for other people. So I think that he is upholding the traditions.
Cool. And Bea, has Ash been maintaining the image of the legacy?
Probably not in the most literal sense, as in we've not seen you pull out the big fiery thing in a while. But I think it's a bit. I think you're doing things a bit differently the past while, and sorry, it's a bit woolly what I'm saying, but
I could.
uh,
Do you want me to like rephrase it a bit? Like, has he been fighting the shadow and preserving the light?
in a sense, nah, you're kind of getting caught up in pettier stuff, you know.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, like stuff with this magisterium, with all these like prickish wizards. It's kind of distracting you from the big from what the legacy does, from its image, or at least what it looks like it's meant to be doing.
Is
Yep.
that a no? Seems like a no. I'm
Yep.
saying it's a no.
I'm happy to take it as a no. And Sabine, has Ash made the other members of his legacy proud?
I think for the fact that he's been trying to pull the team back together, his father definitely would be proud, because he's kind of stepping up in that leadership position, and I imagine that Apollo would think, yeah, that was a cool thing. I don't know about your grandpa, but maybe, who knows.
Cool. So I rolled superior, -1, because we have one definite no. So dice +1. That's a total of 5.
On a miss, that means you did stir up the hornet's nest. Expect several members of your legacy to meddle with your life. You get a message immediately from your father that says, "Home now."
Seems like an appropriate course of action then.
As you try to get a few hours sleep, Bear, your mother's stay vigil outside the door. They've made various offerings. There is a dream catcher. There are candles burning, and for the first night in quite some while, you don't have disturbed dreams or sexy dreams, just no dreams at all. And you take a moment to sleep and rest. And this would count as if your parents had just successfully comforted and supported you. So please remove a condition. Oh, you haven't got any left. Crikey, I'm just really not doing well enough. I'll put a team in the pool.
Mhm.
When you're awake after your rest, how are you feeling?
Better-ish. The overwhelming landslide of embarrassment has subsided. At least it has stopped going. It is still there, but yeah, I think she's in the mood to like. She knows she has to talk to folks, but like she is in the mood to like distract herself a bit, and I think that involves calling her friends to see if there's anything they need. She might call Rick first.
Rick, can you be reached by things like phone or message, or when you're in your sanctum? Because you have full control of it now. I think you can set those boundaries.
I think generally not, but Bayer might be able to.
Yeah, probably like she has like some sort of burner phone that the circuitry has been arranged in a way that would induce some kind of effect.
I've got this vision of a crappy Nokia phone that's had the numbers taken off and replaced with like Nordic glyphs, right, allowing you to summon people through the netherworld.
Yeah.
And I think maybe in we I think we see like when the call comes into Rick, I think he's like obviously just like fallen asleep at this desk, and there's like a few books like piled up next to him, and I think there's like a proper like one of those old fashioned wall mounted wooden box phones with like the horn earpiece and stuff that's ringing as he gets up. Good morning. Who is this, and how did you get my number?
Hey Rick, it's Bear. I thought you gave me your number. Well, you said like some sort of babbling, and I had to translate it. But I guess this was your number.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. It must have got passed through to the. I honestly still don't know what's going on in here, but yeah.
Oh, you and me both. I didn't interrupt you from doing anything.
Sleeping. Other than that.
Oh well, if I woke you up, then I'm sorry. I can call back.
No, it's fine. I'm awake now.
Okay. Rick, do you have anything you need done or anything? I kind of need a distraction or two.
I mean, nothing I can think of. I mean, nothing I need done, but I mean, if you want to head on over, I can. Well, I'll come and pick you up if you want. We can. I've been doing a little reading on the whole vampire situation. If you want to, like, catch up on anything, or to be honest, if you just want to go for something to eat, that'd be good too. But
I wouldn't mind something to eat, I guess. Just I don't know. I just feel like I've eaten a lot of cod liver oil at the moment, and it's bubbling up in my throat, and I don't know who to talk to about it. I mean, I could talk to Ash, but he didn't seem happy about me.
we can go pick up beignets or something.
Yeah, that sounds fab.
And we see this moment as the book that you've been reading, Rick, is on the activities and the abilities and law of the Sapphire Court. And you've been reading before you fell asleep a chapter which reveals how those of the Sapphire Court choose their mates. Assess the situation if you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I think I'm terrible at that with
Superior.
Rick. Well, not terrible. I'm terrible at being normal, which doesn't bode well for our breakfast. But
That's -1 for you. I don't think you get anything bonus for being in the sanctum, but but you do have your own you have a library in the sanctum, don't you?
yes, I do. Yeah, but yeah, that's a 6 in total.
Well, I'll give you +1 for you being in the sanctum and you having your library.
Sure thing. Thank you very much. So that is 7, which is. So I'm just opening up the PDF because I can never remember all the questions off the top of my head.
What here can I use to? What here is the biggest threat? What here is the greatest danger? Who is most vulnerable to me, and how can we best end this quickly?
Yeah, so I think probably in that case it's going to be who is in the greatest danger. Sounds like the most relevant to our current situation.
From your understanding, if Devil Doll so wanted to, they could claim Bayer Minerva as their own, unless someone of equal rank from another vampire court was to oppose them.
Sure thing.
I'll let you enjoy that with your breakfast. We've lost a Sabine somewhere. I wanted just to separate for a moment anyway, if that's okay. So look, let's just take let's take 5 minutes there.
Oh.
So Sabine can come back.
Oh.
Or
Sure.
Peter's back.
Oh, cool.
Let's pick up with Ash when you get back to your house. Your father is in a heck of a state. He seems really agitated.
Dad, what's up?
He points in to the armchair where your grandfather is normally to be found, and it is empty. There is a note on the table.
Well, shit, better pick that up and read it.
It says, if you won't stand up for your son, I'll do it, and I'll face the the Carnival King and Queen.
Oh, Jesus, what? How does he even know about any of these issues? Oh my...
So he's grumpy, know-it-all, son of a bitch. And as far as I can figure out, all folks have a psychic network where they just know by talking to each other.
Does he have any history with these people?
With the court, of course.
Is it good? Is he on good terms with them? Are they friends? Are they going to drink beers and laugh about old times?
Your father's eyes glow golden and fiery and said, they better be.
Where would it be? I need to go, right?
We need to go. This is family business. Just you and me.
Won't that just make it worse?
He said, what's your plan?
I try and take responsibility for the situation, for whatever's come out of this situation. But no, maybe we all go, right?
Yeah, you and me. Come on. He said,
No.
This is family business.
What do you think kicked him off? Was it the sun? Did you see that?
He looks at you and nods and says, yes, I'm so glad that you saw it as well.
Never felt anything like that before.
It's a challenge. Your uncle is coming for us, our power.
But why? And I get that Granddad says he's gone power mad, but don't know, just doesn't seem like great uncle I knew.
Doesn't matter. All that matters is that we stop him.
Of course. We protect the light.
Come on.
Let's go.
And this powerful, godlike superhero slams on like a padded lumberjack-like jacket, puts his cap on and grabs the car keys as you get into the pickup truck. And says, let's try not to make a scene.
Let's try.
Sai, your gumbo is ready. It smells divine, even if you say so yourself.
Yeah. Well, it should smell good to me. And then I'll steal some rum and some cigars, and go and find some crossroads. I probably know crossroads near the graveyard, where probably not a very busy one, because it would seem weird standing at the huge intersection, right? Doing that. So it might be fun.
Okay, so let's see if you get caught on that thieving, right? Let's have an assess the situation from you to see if you're able to get cigars and liquor from a store without being
I
spotted.
probably won't, because I'm still feeling guilty. I don't know. Okay, I've rolled 9, so it's a 7, and this is with superior, right?
It is.
Yeah, then it's a 6.
Do you want to spend a point of team selfishly?
No, Gumbo will have to do.
No, I think you grab it. You haven't failed, but I think as you grab it, the guy on the store, he sort of goes, "I know you." He says, "God damn it!" And then, as you're running down the street, you are chased by.
Oh wait, he says, "I know you." I'm
Yeah.
standing. I'm stock still. I'm turning around and said, "You know me."
And he looks at you. At this point, he's gone under his counter and is pulling out a pistol and sort of waving it and waving his hands at you.
How do you know me? Who am I?
Says, "I know you. You
I'm
used to
stepping.
come around here all the time."
I did. Huh. I really did. It's amazing.
Said,
You're first person to say that.
says, "Oh yeah, I know you, Joshua." And he then you see him looking out at something at the window, and he looks confused for a moment and looks at the gun in his hand, and then sort of puts it under the counter and scratches his head and looks sort of confused and doesn't seem to pay attention to you again.
Hello?
When you look across the street to whatever he looked at, you can see there is a man who has cats all around them and sitting on their shoulders.
Okay.
And one of them meows and they all sort of walk away. And the guy looks up and goes, "Hi, can I help you?"
No, I'm good. Thank you. Don't shoot any teenagers. Yeah. And I'm letting myself out. And I'm trying to look at where the cats did get to. Maybe I can catch one. No, catching cats, bad business. But I'll go look and see if I can find this person with the cats. Cat person.
Okay, let's turn the page though and find our pair of Rick and Bayer. You've left the Citadel or the Cathedral, Rick, to meet Bayer. Where have you met?
Yeah, I think just kind of a little cafe diner type place. Sort of again, probably sort of in like the old town, one of those little sort of corner cafes. And yeah, I think Rick's ordered some coffee and beignets, and he was sort of sat there waiting for Bayer, as I think his journey there was somewhat shorter.
Yeah, I think when Bea like staggers in, I I mean, she had a good night's sleep, thanks to her mom's. But she's got like the sunglasses on. Looks like fully armored up. Uh, and when she sits down, she's just like, "Do you dream much, Rick?"
Quite vividly, yeah. It's not always good. Rarely, in fact. But yeah, I dream.
Well, if they're not good, then I won't ask then. I don't know. It's just I'm sorry for the other night. I didn't expect that to happen. I mean, we've all got baggage, I suppose, or problems, but you don't expect those problems to walk up and present themselves so vividly in front of your friends. And I'm really sorry. That was a lot to see.
Hey, these things happen. Ain't nothing. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say it ain't gonna be a problem, but hey, you can't help it if she's gonna be like that.
I didn't think I was. Do you think I was kind of leading her on or anything? I didn't think I was. We met at that party, and I mean, I guess psychically, dreams. What happens in dreams, when induced from the outside matters. But I also didn't expect to get to X the X from my ex, so to speak. That kind of happened. That just kind of happened. It's just I'm sorry. These problems must seem impossibly mundane.
I guess they kind of do, but that's not a bad thing. I think I could do with a little mundane in my life right now.
Really?
The little table that you're sitting on outside, a collared dove lands on the table. It is carrying a single red rose, and the dove coos, "Miss you." And then the dove flies away.
I kind of like the idea, like the composition of this is like it's like long panels of like just the two of them across each table, and on the fourth panel is when the dove comes. It's like, okay, it's just like, oh gosh, funny thing, Rick, I'm actually feeling the opposite. I would like to do other things than be caught in drama, I guess. I mean, we've got so much going on. We've got the council, we've got Mary, Andrew, Papa, Legba, Crossroads, Sai's whole deal, Ash's whole deal, your whole deal. I mean, what I'm dealing with is high school. It's stuff I never want to deal with again. You're welcome to it if you want.
Well, maybe we can take a look at some of those other problems and take your mind off all this. I guess we can try and. I mean, maybe we should try and see if we can find out a little more about how this whole council thing actually works. It's not something that I've really bothered myself with in the past, but I suppose it might be worth us having a word with them.
Yeah, we should just get that out of the way. Like, frankly, their jurisdiction is self-given, It's we should get that done before they meddle anymore. Thanks for meeting out with me here. It's just, I don't know.
No, it's fine. I'd do anything. I'd do anything for a friend, and I don't have so many putting demands on my time. So it's nice just to meet up and do something like this. Also, it helps build up the. We'll talk about that later. Should the need arise?
Sure. Yeah, well, whatever it is. Yeah. When the need arises. Trying to figure out what moves were being triggered in that conversation.
Were you sharing vulnerabilities? I think you sounded like you were sharing vulnerability to me, Bear Minerva.
Yeah. So when I share vulnerability or weakness with someone, I basically ask them to confirm or deny that I should be here. I think, I basically said it in so many words, just like, you're all dealing with stuff while I'm dealing with stuff. And you were like, no, okay, you know what? Let's deal with stuff, and we'll bring you along. That sounds like
that's right. And I think as well, certainly my intention is that certainly like Rick sees you as more of an expert than him on the actual world of weird stuff. He is weird. He doesn't know weird necessarily.
fascinating. Okay, so I think that's confirming it. So I mark potential, and you get influence over me, which you take back after I took it away.
Cool. And I'll just double check mine.
You didn't talk openly about your doom, did you?
I didn't. No, I did not openly. Anyway, I alluded to my doom, I think, but I didn't talk openly. Although I suppose I did. I think probably talking about his nightmares is probably sharing a vulnerability or weakness. So again, you get influence over me. I think you do still have that, so you can shift my labels in a sec. Yeah. Do you think there's hope for me?
Ooh. First, I'll shift your labels. I think your mundane goes up, and your freak goes down. And I think like we're probably like when we finish up breakfast and we're kind of heading out to do stuff. Sun is shining. It's a lovely day here in Crescent City, and I think Bear like gives us like contented sigh. She says like, if you talk to my moms, like maybe they can help you out with your dreams. Like sometimes it feels like when you dream so much, it's so vivid that that's all reality is. But dreams stop when you wake up. And it's always possible to dream other things.
I guess you're right. Maybe I could have a word with him at some point. It might. Maybe it'll help a little. Thanks, Beer. It's.
Page turns and we're outside the novel hovel. A figure enters in a linen suit, white shirt and black tie, wearing sunglasses. There is not a crease on the suit. And he comes in and takes a seat. And we see Marisol come over and smile and said, "What can I get you, darling?" And he smiles. His eyes burn with smokeless fire behind the sunglasses. And he says, "Well, I would like a dark hot chocolate made with water, no milk." We shall turn the page. Am I correct in the fact there, by the way, that were Rick and Bay going to go and confront the council as well? Was that my correct understanding? Because I can bring you back together with
either
Ash.
Confront or find information out about them. But yeah, I'm happy if we want to link back up, that would make sense.
Yeah, I think like we won't like go straight confront them without like talking to the rest.
Yep. Well, if you message Ash and tell him, what would Ash tell them?
Well, if Ash is messaged,
Yeah.
I think Bear would message you. I think you're the one who has like an actual phone.
yeah, probably like, family shit going down, heading to the council.
Wait, is that an order? Head into the council?
No, that's more of a describing my current activity.
Oh, okay. Heading to the council. Sorry, I started ahead. And I think Bear just like texts like, tells that to Rick and texts like, on our way. Need backup for family shit?
This might be very messy.
Cool. We'll find Sai. We're on our way.
Okay. There's no sign of the cat for the time or the person as you've got out, Sai. But
Okay.
you have your cigars, you have rum, and you have the gumbo.
And I will do my foolhardy action
Mhm.
and set myself up at the crossroads and call for Papa Legba. Unless I get a message from Bea and Rick before that I should head out, but it's kind of, well,
Yeah, do we have a way to contact you? You must. You have a
yeah,
phone
of
as well?
course.
Okay.
I have a phone, yeah.
Okay, so everyone does have a phone. I don't know why
Yeah,
I thought
I
no
have
one
a
had
phone.
a phone. Yeah, I think probably you're just about to do the crossroads thing when you get like text. It's Bear going. Where are you? Ash in family shit.
I guess I'm coming. Where are we going?
Council.
Okay. Give me a minute to put that gumbo back up on in the refrigerator. You know, good gumbo has to sit for a while anyways.
You say all this in a text?
Yeah, sure, I could say all this in a text. I'm a teenager, I text like lightning.
Mostly it's emojis, right? But I think we established a couple of issues back that you are a team of mystically powered young superheroes who communicate with each other via WhatsApp.
Yes. What's more normal than that?
Exactly so.
Where I assume that you tell me where you want to meet.
Yeah, I think Bear would probably know where the council is, or so I think. Oh, go ahead, Dave.
No, I'd say the council or wherever you want them to be, they will come at midnight or when 3 ravens dance.
Okay, I gotta find them ravens.
If you were looking for La Femme Pendue, and I think she's a member of the council. I know where she lives.
That might not be a good idea. I'm not friends with her. But you are.
But your girlfriend, one of your girlfriends is friends with her.
That doesn't make me friends with her. And what do you mean, one of my girlfriends?
Well, the Meridian Witch, she was the one who brought me to her. So she has to be friends with her, I assume.
Yes,
Kinda.
but that doesn't make me friends with her. Okay, yeah, what? Yes, let's go meet at La Femme. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. That's.
Are you all seeking the council? That is your action, willingly seeking.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, if that's where Ash is headed, then yeah.
But I think wherever you are, there is sort of that moment where time sort of stops. The clocks just stop for a second. If there's a timer on your watch, it goes off at midnight. If there's a clock nearby, bells chang, and all of a sudden the world around you starts to spin. If we're in the comic, we see that through lines of color merging, and then all of a sudden you're at the center of a sort of American colonial Gothic square where there is a clock tower and pillars, and the great and the good, the evil and the cruel. But many of the faces that we have seen are massed in this scene nearby. We see the black dog. We see Sherry Como. We see La Femme Pendo. We see Sister Sin, Devil Doll, Chu Shi, as well as other vampires, wizards, witches, dying gods, and other creatures more odd and terrible, all addressed around you. But then there are literally shadows which are thrown down, which grow up as huge seats, and sat on one of them is La Femme Pendo, and sat on the other is the Raven, one of the members formerly of the Order. You all look at each other. Obsidian is with you. I have never been brave enough to try and pronounce the speech and letters that make up your grandfather's name.
Huitzilopochtli.
Yeah, that's the one. But he is here as well. And Raven taps his staff down and looks down at all of you and says, "It is time then. You have come to make your choice and face the council." Let's have 5 minutes there before we pick up on that page turning on the scene.
Done.
Good. So in this scene, everyone other than yourselves wears masks. It has a carnival sort of feel to it, and a mixture of the old world and the new. Colourful jazz music can be heard in the distance. In this place sort of exists and doesn't, but still the Fempendo and the Raven look down at you. What is the team doing at this moment?
Oh, Ash is probably looking around, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, trying to assess the situation, see where Granddad is, where Dad is, where the team is there any danger?
Cool. Let's roll that with some superior then, if you'd like to assess the situation.
Sure. That's a 10.
Then you, sir, may ask 2 questions from the assess the situation
Okay.
table. But these are, to remind people, you don't have to ask them word for word if there's something you specifically want to ask.
Oh, well, here's the biggest threat.
There's quite a lot of threats here, but the biggest threat is undoubtedly, you sort of feel it's the shadows that form the thrones that they're sitting on themselves. And out of those 2, it is the Raven who has, he sort of looks at you. He's got that look which says he has got the he has that look that he may do you harm.
Okay. And how could we best end this quickly?
Ooh. Do you think you're going to be forced to make a choice if you're correct? Whose choice and how many people are going to make, what those choices are, and whether you want to make them is in your hands.
Cool.
The
Move
conflicting pressures of the world have caught up with you.
And I get to take one while acting on those answers.
You do. Does anyone else want to do anything like mask piercing or equivalents?
I might do that to La Femme Pando since we're acquainted.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like our eyes meet for sure. Everything's pretty good. That's a 10.
Then you may ask 3 questions. Again, these are guides. They are not necessary for you to use exactly.
Yeah. What are you really planning? I just want to be sure. I think it's just fairly. It seems clear cut, but.
Oh, she. From your knowledge of her and what she does, she never agreed with Apollo's actions and wants you all to commit yourself to the hidden world and the traditions of it.
Ooh. How could I get them to? How could I get them to just drop all of this, if it's even possible?
You'd need to. It's you don't particularly believe it is possible. You'd need to find the cheat code. This is the world asking you, literally, as big as the theme in Masks is, to trying to tell you who you are.
One massive wave of rejection, maybe, I don't know. And do you mind if I hold on to the last question?
That's fine. They sort of look at you. Does anyone else want to make any acts or moves?
Yeah.
Simon?
I want to step forward a little and say to La Femme Pando particularly, but to everyone, like, what exactly do you really want of us? What consequences are there? Tell me what you want so that I can decide.
We will explain it all to you. But this is a matter for denizens of the hidden world, not stowaways who shouldn't be here in the Midnight Court. And they look at Bear Minerva, click your fingers, and Bear, you're back on the streets of Crescent City, away from everyone else. I'm looking at your drive. I doubt you're going to take that well, but we'll come back to you in a moment to see how Bear Minerva reacts next. You have so Raven. The Raven leans forward. Before he even opened his mouth, I sort of think he said, "Well, you explain first." I think he said, "The choices must be made. There are rules and covenants. There are obligations and treaties which go back centuries, in some instance millennium, that bind this city and how its denizens of power and magic interact."
I've never signed any of these contracts. And we're a team. Yeah? So stop messing around with us.
Raises its eyes and looks at Prometheus. Wielder of an ancient flame, bound by a legacy, looks at Rick and says, "Heir to the seat of the Black Bishop," looks at Cy LaRue, lower at a crossroads. Whether you made these deals, whether you made these traditions, they still bind this place. And the choices you make will bring chaos if you choose not to accept them. Apollo sort of steps forward and says, "I need to explain some things to my my son." And the two of them sort of, the eye contact they have between them is one of real enmity. And then your grandfather steps forward, Ash, and says, "And I need to explain to him how these things really work, and how not to make the same fool mistakes that his father made." And sort of Raven nods and says, "Wise words indeed. We will give you a few minutes to talk before they make their own cases." Suddenly, it's just you three and Apollo's father and grandfather, sorry, Apollo's, Prometheus's father and grandfather standing there in the square.
I'm a bit tired of being pushed around here.
Granddad, why did you come here?
To undo the stain that your father put on this family's honor. And he said, "Oh, shut up about this." And the two start bickering.
So this is it. Centuries of tradition, an ancient legacy, our duty as a family and a bloodline. And I get to just sit and listen to you guys argue for another half hour.
Sounds like you want to provoke them into stopping.
Yeah, sure. Oh, shit. The dice are strong tonight. That's an 11.
So they do it. This is a fight that you've heard countless times before. Your grandfather saying you should have never stepped out into the light. It cost them all their lives. Blah blah blah. There's been a blight on our family. It's such great power. We should be using it to make a difference in this world, not hiding from those who don't understand us. And that's the sort of cycle that you heard. We can see this flashback of panels and panels of Ash, younger and younger, and then before he took on the mantle, before the burns when he was a child, this same fight has gone on all your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you're suddenly able to tell them what you want them to say, what you want them to, and they will listen.
Yeah. Ash will put his hand up and just say very loudly and very with authority, "Stop! This is supposed to be my moment, my time. Put your feelings aside and remember your duty. Isn't that what you told me before I stepped into that fire?"
And we've got that one-page panel of them both looking aghast with you with their jaws on the floor. And then we're in the middle of the Gothic touristy centre of Crescent City and Bayer. You are standing there, ejected from this place. I imagine you're pretty pissed right now, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pissed. I'm panicking. I'm just like saying no a lot. I think I'm I'm a ways away from home, but I'm running because I'm running back home because what I left in my room on a stand above my desk is this very nice sword, which I left it there because I'm not good enough for it yet, clearly, but I need it, so I'm running.
You run. We see the scene of you running straight past your mom in the coffee shop, chatting politely with the man in the white linen suit, who smiles the smile of a devil as you run past, and you run up into your room, putting your hand around the sword. back in the Midnight Court, we also see stepping out of the shadows. We see. Oh, sorry. We see your vampiric, if not blood, sister, Sister Sin, Rick, her blue lips and blue-black hair and white alabaster skin. She says, "Have you made your choice, Rick Soto?"
I think the choice has made me, sister. I don't know that I rightly want a part of this whole court of yours, but the way I see it, you and yours will never let me leave. And I've got other pressures on me from the other side, so I think my mind's been kind of made up for me.
You can give it to me if you want. I'm willing to take the burden. But someone needs to take it. The choice has been made. The devil doll says that your little friend is hers. Are you to take the bishopry of the Obsidian Court, Rick Soto?
I think I gotta. I meant what I said when we spoke of the ball that time. If I could have given it to you then, maybe it would be different, but I think things have gone too far now. I don't think I can back out.
She squeezes your hand and says, "I wish perhaps you could have. Or perhaps I'm glad you did not." We are in this scene where Bayer is going through everything in a room and pulls out the Shadow Knight's blade, the Vorpal blade of Vortigern. What are you doing, Bayer?
All right. So I'm not in the mental space of Rick. I'm in the mundane world, but I've done this before. Sure, it didn't really work out well last time, but I've got no choice. I think I am just gonna not even delicately, not as delicately as last time, but I am gonna just kind of especially where the floor has been remade. I am just gonna try to slice my way back into the Midnight Court.
That sounds like you want to unleash your powers, but maybe we'll just leave that roll just for a second, because you might hit one of your other drives as you jump back in, and you get the option to use some of your other cool, funky moves that we haven't seen yet. Sai, the others are sort of talking. It's just you left here on
Yeah.
your own.
I don't know what they all want. This is not. This is all old stuff binding us together, and I hate it. I wonder if there's a way I can get out of here, just like slouch out. No, I can't do that. I have to. God damn. There's still Ash and Rick has just accepted B. I don't know. I don't think this is a good idea. But I guess it's his choice. So guess I'm sticking around, glowering at people.
Cool. But framing that in your mind, if at any point you want to use unstoppable to smash out of here, I would consider that well legit.
Yeah.
And then there's a moment where the court is back, and there is noise, and there is music, and there is smell of cooking, and the shadow thrones are there with the with the Carnival King and Queen looking down. Le Femme Bento speaks and says, these are not easy choices to make. I do understand that. And she looks at Sherry. But we have duties and responsibilities to each other. You can't pick and choose your family and your obligations. You're bound with them from the minute you step into the shadow world. And those who've tried to step away pay a terrible price, not inflicted by us, but inflicted by the world itself. If you choose to reject us, we will offer you no succor. You will find no support. You will not be part of us. And I feel now probably, Bayer, is the time that you definitely want to roll to unleash your powers.
Yeah. So, since I've taken up this blade again, would that allow me to use no powers? Not really.
You wielded it before and you had the advantage though, didn't you? So,
Yeah, that's fair.
Look, it's a named artifact. It's powerful enough. I'm gonna say yes, but this will be the last time.
Oh yeah, no. Last time I'm packing this up in a box and I'm waiting for Duke to come by and pick it up again. Whew, that's a 14.
Paint those panels for me, Bear. What does this look like for our reader?
Yeah, I think actually La Femme Pendo's speech is intercut with Bea slicing through intercut panels of Bea's face, all angry and sweaty, and La Femme Pendo making her speech, and then we get another panel of the blade touching just the air right above her floor, and then another panel of like the Fempendo talking, and then the blade just like cutting through something. It's a side shot, so you don't actually see it cutting anything. And as soon as she finished her speech, we get like a big panel that dominates 2/3 of the page, and it's like an opening on Bea's floor looking down at the Midnight Court, and Bea is gonna just fuck it, jump in, and kind of I think from the Midnight Court's perspective, there's it's like a sunlight comes out from the roof, the sky, and Bea's didn't really think through the logistics of jumping down to the Midnight Court as she assumed it's metaphysical. And I guess she'll have. Sorry, this is all so much. She lands in front of her, with her teammates, holding the sword, and it's just like, I'm sorry, but if you're gonna make judgment on our team, you'd have the whole fucking team here.
And as a point of order, I think if y'all can't keep her out of here, then she surely belongs here.
And another point of order, use your powers on my teammate without her consent again. We'll have problems.
Yeah, says Sherry, who steps over and takes your hand.
Whose hand?
Bear's. Yeah, it's always you I've loved. Bears, just.
God damn it!
This triangle turned into a quadrangle, quadrilateral.
As she does that, Devil Doll steps out and says, "Take your hands off my man."
Can we? I think she's still holding the sword. It's like, can we talk about this later? Important moment right now. We can talk.
Who was that you telling Sherry that? Yes.
No, I'm telling Devil. I don't. Important.
I'm just going to give her the stink eye again.
Okay.
Because she's clearly not talked to them yet.
If it's okay, unless anyone wants to say, Bear has things to say to La Femme Pando.
Yeah, go for it.
I think she's just like she had the impulse to point the sword and realized, no, probably not. Shouldn't make a threat, and just say like, you know what I really don't get about this whole Order Magisterium Council nonsense. That you said you're here to stand up for, order and rules and whatnot for people who choose to be in the shadow world. But my friends, they didn't have a choice, didn't they? Rick was saddled with this gothic nonsense. Sai was murdered, and you tell me that Ash didn't have any other choice other than follow on what his family's doing. You shouldn't be sanctioning them. You should be helping them. You should be making sure that they do well. The only person who should be sanctioned is the only person who made the choice, and that's me.
It's a fair point she's raising there. Because there are lots of people who are on this side of the shadow who didn't choose to be there. And suddenly they're all bound by your rules. Why? What has your order done? What good has your order done for all of us?
And do you think it's different on the other side? That everyone who was born into the world is born into rules. They're born into obligations. Here we keep each other safe, because if the world was to understand that there were vampires, there were werewolves, there were ghosts, there were gods, they would not take it well.
I don't feel particularly safe.
No, not with Geddy running around murdering people. Is he one of yours?
That gets muttered around the... as his name is mentioned, it sort of mutters, and that word sort of almost... like a breeze goes through.
Tell me, does he follow your edicts and your rules? Is he one of you?
You're going to ask them to tell you. I feels to you like you are provoking.
Sure, let's go for more provoking. I'm great at provoking. Oh, Jesus. I still get 7.
So, they stumble. You get place 21 against them. The air, or you overreact?
What do you think is more appropriate for the situation rather than me?
Oh, I choose, actually, don't I? So I'm going to choose... I'm going to choose that Raven overreacts and you gain influence over them.
Shit.
And he responds, "Good God, you're just like your father, seeing monsters under the carpets. This world was absolutely in balance until you Sinister Kids disrupted it."
How was it in balance when I was killed? What was the balance in there?
People...
How was it in balance when the other kids were killed? Those who didn't get back up. Your balance is just profiting you. It's not helping anyone. You say that the world has always been the same. It hasn't. It hasn't. And even if it has, it should be better.
And will you make it better? Is that who you think you are? You will lead and change and save every life?
I will at least not follow rules without any kind of question. I'm not a leader or anything, but at least I will try to make things better. You know, you've given up all hope for that. And that's why you are just, I don't know, you're just going through the motions. You're just a carnival.
Yeah, I see it now. You want to keep the shadows so safe that you'll effectively sanction whatever behavior those who keep to the shadows want, right? You'll let sin try and trap souls, resurrect monsters. You'll let Geddy kill his own family and eat their power. Am I right?
You can hear murmurs in the crowd.
It's not about keeping people safe. This is about keeping your power safe.
It's about those thrones, isn't it?
What do you mean, says Lefem Pendo? It's about the thrones.
Look at them. They're the most powerful thing here.
Are they?
Not the people on them.
Huh.
I don't know. I've seen Sai go through many things I thought were powerful.
I don't know if I can go through the thrones, but I can try.
Lefem Pendo looks at you, Rick, and says, you among all of them understand your birthright, surely, to take your place, to rule your court, to show that the vampires do not deteriorate into civil war and rivalries. Even now you understand the power that's been given to you. You can use it to save your friend Bear Minerva from Devil Doll.
I know what I have an idea anyway of what I can do and maybe what I should do. But and I ain't necessarily got a problem with joining with y'all, but the thing is I don't think none of us here have ever had a gold-rimmed invitation to the party before this point. And the way I look at it right now, and if you'll forgive my flowery language, but we are here because you want us inside the 10 pissing out rather than outside the 10 pissing in. And sure, maybe you can offer us some help and some assistance and all if we do join you inside. But I mean, we're doing okay with where we are, and maybe we won't be in a few days' time. Maybe y'all will bring down some hellacious retribution on us, but I don't see what we have to gain from this. So maybe you should start telling us what you can offer us if we join you.
The Raven says, you cannot stay between two worlds. The
Why
price
not?
is too high. And he
Why not?
points
Why not?
at Apollo. And as he does that, I think you sort of see Apollo, and you see him differently, Ash. He is almost by sheer force of will present here, and it's almost as if he's semi-transparent, forcing his way into this world.
Like he's unwelcome.
Yeah. There are older magics here that hold this place. A choice has to be made, unless you're planning to unweave the shadows themselves.
Okay.
Said, I stood with your father, Prometheus. We tried. We lost so many. Heroes, like they have in Union City and Halcyon City. We have no heroes here. We just exist. and we have different rules and different ways.
Ash is going to chuckle because I think Raven just gave him the answer, and I'd like to assess the situation again.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus. 5, I roll superior. Oh, cool, it's still my strong bit. 7.
And you get to ask a question.
What here can I use to unweave the magics that bind the shadow and enforce the rules and laws? How do I unmake the shadow?
What you can use, now you're aware of it, you can sort of see the tapestry of it touching the edges of your father. You can see the shadow that, as you say, form up into these thrones, and these shadows are symbols of a powerful compact that bounds this place to certain ways and rules. It's literally everyone here who's in this court has given them a little of themselves to hold it together. To destroy it, you have to turn them against it or unleash some big bada-boom. And I will remind you, you have unlocked your moment of truth.
Yeah. Ash is going to look at the team. There can be another way.
Okay.
And we can walk it together. But I can't do that without all of you giving me permission.
To do what?
What I was born to do.
Ash, look.
To banish the shadows.
Oh. Go and banish the shadows.
I don't necessarily have a problem with there being rules or us following the rules, but if these rules have been around for hundreds of thousands of years, maybe they could do with a little updating.
Ash is going to just smile and look at Raven. Do you know who I am?
I know who you are. And boy, I'm trying to make you not make the same mistakes your father made.
No, I will make new mistakes. Glorious mistakes that will brighten the world. For I am the light, and no shadow can ever stand against me if I will it. And then Ash is going to continue talking, but there's like 1,000 voices echo behind him, and he says, "We are the light." I'd like to activate his moment of truth.
Tell the story. Ask me to fill anything you want. Ask questions of the others, but the spotlight is literally yours.
Ash will reach to his chest, and his hand will just sink in like it would when he puts on the armor. And the flame will engulf him. And he'll pull his hand out, and this time, instead of a huge, unwieldy sword that would be used to destroy things, he just pulls out a perfect sphere of light. And as the fire consumes him and burns its way back into being his armor, the armor itself turns to ash. And the man who steps out of the armor isn't the Ash that you remember. He is beautiful, divine, bronze skin, long flowing hair, a golden tiara and a golden necklace. Looks like an ancient hero from some long lost civilization. And in the palm of his hand, he holds the sun, and it illuminates everything. How would the people react, Dave?
I think they're a mixture. For some, it's a big smile, and they You can see literally metaphysical chains shattering around them. A number of the vampires pull back from the light. Devil Doll disappears back into the crowd. There's been a sort of hissing and just there. The whispers and promises that make up the thrones. It's almost like ice melting as the thrones grow lower and lower. As everyone is sort of transfixed, you can see the power that's running through you is also running through your father and your grandfather at the same time.
Hold the sun up. I am the light. Shadow only exists because I allow it. And when we bound ourselves to the shadow and let it rule us, we damage the world. Now I undo it. And I think as the light lifts up his hand, and beams glitter out of it, and they will strike the thrones, they will strike the fabrics of this place, and they'll start to undo the magic. And as he's doing this, like, you can he's just radiant and glowing, and he's as grossly incandescent as his father when he's doing all his heroing.
And what does it look like for the rest of you as this is going off? Rick?
Yeah, I think Rick. I think especially in the whole bit about Shadow not being able to stand up to him, etc. I think we probably get like just a shot of Rick over the shoulder with a kind of wry grin on his face, but yeah, I think as well, though, he is he is standing behind Ash in a kind of supportive fashion. Yeah.
Sai?
I think the brighter the light gets, the more translucent Sai becomes. That's not unusual because in sunlight he always became more translucent. But I think at this point he will just, he will still be there, and those of you who are a bit attuned to him will know that they're still there, but you can't really see them. They're just a complete ghost now for a bit, and then they will just slowly turn themselves back up, like being visible and being more visible than they used to be before, because I took an advance and I got new powers. So
Excellent. Bayer?
Well, thank God I wear sunglasses. I think I'm holding. Well, my hand's holding the sword, so I'm not gonna let that go because I owe that to someone. On the other hand, I'm holding onto Sherry's hand really tightly. I'm hoping she's doing fine. Actually, I think I think I kind of like bring her closer because this is so much. It's a lot to take in. I think I'm like transfixed, but like in the moment as Ash is like flinging this sun into the thrones. They're like just like out of panic, like trying to pull like Sherry close. But I guess the panic is less, we're all gonna die, and more like, oh my God, I'm seeing this. I'm witnessing this. This is a lot.
And then the shadows are gone. And
Yeah, I think Ash will raise his hands to the sky in a rapture, and there'll be a flash of light, and then he'll just be stood there in the clothes he was in before. His scars are now gone.
we see the Femme Pendo and the Raven sitting on basic old wooden chairs. The Femme Pendo looks, I should say, quixotic smile on her face. The raven leans forward on his staff and looks at you. Every check, every balance, every contract, every promise made has been absolved. The balance that held this place is over. You have broken it. I hope you are ready to stand up and do what must be done, because you have unleashed evil on this world.
Evil was already there. Now we can fight it. Who's nearest to Ash?
It's your father and your grandfather is there. You can see your grandfather. Your father is got tears in his eyes, and he looks. And then your grandfather nods and smiles and sort of touches your father's hand, and then grabs yours and looks at you. And you can see him starting to literally blow away in the breeze. He says, "If that was the last of my flame, perhaps you're better and can do more than both of us. You are the wielder of the flame, Prometheus."
I will never forget. And he's going to sort of reach over and probably put an arm around Shadow to steady himself. He looks rather drained.
He says, "I will always love you." And you see your grandfather wisp like ashes across the panel of the comic book as he passes from this world to the next.
The fire will burn within me forever.
Cherie releases your hand, Bea, and looks at you, takes you by the face and looks you straight in the eyes and says, "You're an idiot, and I'll deal with you later." And she walks straight over to Devil Doll, and you see Devil Doll drawing these fangs, and Cherie chins her, sending her down to the floor, and says, "She's my woman, and if you don't like that, you can deal with me."
In the background of that panel, Bea has to cover her mouth in a proper like cartoonish kind of like, oh my god. Okay.
"So it is," says La Femme Pendo, "that on this day the compact of shadows and the Shadow Court is dissolved. New champions have arisen in this city. Let's hope they're strong enough to protect us all. For now, and for this time, it is each to their own and each for themselves." And the minute hand moved on the clock in the clock tower, and suddenly you are alone. Let me take a short break there and come back to figure out our next moments. I'll see you at 10 to the hour. So yes, unmaking all the shadow contracts is exactly what a moment of truth is for in Mars, when kids turn up and say, "I ain't going to play by your rule, Granddad." But we have had...
Threw the rule book out the window and didn't replace it with anything else.
Yeah, we've had a moment of literally the world being cast anew. And somewhere in the swamps outside the city, we see Mary Andrew laughing and dancing and throws off their motley garb, and we see them as the proud, strong black men that they are, looking out of the city and giggling. In the novel hovel, we suddenly see quite a strong and enjoyable conversation that Bea's mother has been having with this well-traveled man, and he sort of stops for a moment and takes a deep breath, and she says, "Are you all right?" And he says, Someone dear to me, unfortunately, has passed away. how would you know such a thing? And it says, my wonderful and talented nephew has rewritten the world. He says, this is a land of do as you please. And suddenly he erupts in fire. And the team are here in the Midnight Court again, only surrounded by those who have meaning to be here. So Sister Sin and Apollo is here. Your father is sobbing, looking at his empty hands. Ash and Sister Sin takes a knee and kneels before you, Rick.
I appreciate the gesture, but I don't need you to do that. I'm gonna need your help if we're gonna keep a lid on things. I imagine stuff is gonna get pretty gnarly around about here. And he'll kind of offer her a hand to back to her feet.
It says, as you wish, my bishop.
I mean, we just had this conversation, but I'm doing this because I think it has to be done. I appreciate any help you can give. You know this world better than I do. You know our people better than I do. I have no interest in controlling you or ruling over you. But if that's what is expected for now, I'll play the part. But I need your help, not your obedience.
She smiles, and her teeth can be seen sharply through it, and you can see a psychic orbital shiver, and says, appearance is a good part of the thing. I will be your seneschal, and unlike those Disney veneers, I will only plot against you sometimes.
I couldn't ask for anything more.
I will take care of things while you are dealing with this brave new world that you have dealt with.
Yeah, I imagine things are going to get a whole lot of interesting. He's going to call out over to Prometheus. You ever tried growing back a liver before? Because I have a feeling things are going to start getting quite interesting for you.
Yeah. I'm not sorry. He's probably got his arm around his dad at this point. He's just gently trying to comfort him, but letting him grieve because that was pretty dramatic. I honestly don't know what happens next. What I do know is there's some shadows that need to be clipped.
And then the Midnight Court is gone, and you're at a crossroads. It is miles outside the city, and it is dusty. The question that I have for Sai is this the crossroads? You will also end up at a crossroads. Do you want to be at the same crossroads with your team, or are you on a crossroads alone?
No, I think I'd stick with them, see what they come up with next. I mean, I have my own plans, but right now, I'm feeling pretty okay staying with them.
Okay. So you are at this crossroads. This will give you the chance, if you wish to, Sai, to resolve what you wanted to do, but equally, I think shouting down the Shadow Court without discussing it with your team seemed like a good foolhardy action to me, and I really don't think that Sai would probably feel that insecure right now.
Yeah, probably not. No, not after what happened and the whole sun display and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's true. Okay, I mean, I'm taking that away, and I will not call on Papa like that. I have the feeling that this is something I should do alone. Also, I don't have my gumbo with me, so no way. I mean,
We could make gumbo with you.
I could share my gumbo with you. I might.
I
I
bet.
will. I will say, well, that was a thing.
Are you guys okay?
You kind of threw me out of life a bit, but it's okay. I came back.
That's good.
Good thing.
I was out of life before, so
I guess, yeah.
guess it's, I'm actually feeling better now. Somehow, it's weird. But so, do we have any kind of plans, or do we just play by ear?
Well, we finished one unfinished business. I guess we move on to the next. I mean, as much as I loved shouting at authority there, and then taking them down, that was absolutely lovely. We do, like I said, shadows need to be clipped. There's stuff we still need to take care of. I don't know if we can do that today. Ash, you okay? That was a lot.
I'm very drained. That was different.
Yeah, you look different.
I could feel all of them in that moment. Every single person who dedicated themselves to the legacy before me. They're all still there.
Wow. Okay, you know what? I've got some gumbo. Anyone wants? Hungry? You look hungry. Ash.
Gumbo?
Yeah.
Sure.
Call them.
I don't know you cooked.
I didn't know either.
You learn something new about yourself every day.
Yeah. I mean, it smelled good. I didn't taste it. Well, I guess I might. Weird.
We see, I think, this moment of the team for a panel of two eating the gumbo.
Does it have chicken feet in it?
It has all kinds of things in it. It's a gumbo.
It's a good gumbo. It is undoubtedly the best gumbo that you have ever tasted. That's when your phone.
I have a question.
Yeah, sorry.
Does anybody say that this was nice or that this was good cooking? Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah, sure.
Because
it's the best that I've ever tasted.
That might actually hit my team move when you share a triumphant celebration with someone. Clear one condition: if they treat you like a perfectly normal person, which I get here, and mark potential if they praise your power or abilities. And cooking gumbo is an ability. I mean, it's not a supernatural ability per se, but
utterly normal having after all of like that crazy godhood. Hey, does someone want some gumbo? I didn't know you cooked. This is the gumbo, right? That for me has hit your team move definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
And suddenly gumbo.
Yes, this gumbo is almost as good as Miss Francine's, and when it comes to her gumbo, almost as good. That's high praise.
Thank you. It didn't sit for a long time, so that might account for that.
And as you're thinking of this gumbo bear and of how it compares to your mom's gumbos, each of your mums have got different gumbo recipes, and they continually ask you which one is best.
And I always say theirs.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's like my aunties and lasagnas.
But then there is you see your phone buzzes and you have a message from one of your moms. It will be from Miriam. And as you open it up, it says, "Where are you?" And then there's a picture attached to it, and the novel hovel is on fire, and there are fire engines outside trying to put it out. How does Bayer react?
Actually, before we get to reaction, I do have to ask.
There is a figure. Just check one out. Sorry, I forgot something there. There's a figure standing in front of the fires, and it is the figure in the linen suit, smiling. And even though this is just a picture, it's not a video or anything like that. But the fire and the flame around him is flickering and glittering.
Oh, so my mom took the opportunity to take a GIF. Okay, cool. I think Bea will. Sorry for the tension there. Bea will stand up very suddenly. I think she's like, fast muttering like my house on fire, my mom's in danger, I gotta go. And before anyone can even react, she's already running off, if that's okay with folks.
Yeah.
And I think as everyone looks around, there's no sign of Sai in the seat they were sitting on. And Sai, you're on a different, darker crossroads, alone. Just with you and your bowl of gumbo and whatever's left in the flask. And then there is this figure sitting on the other side of a log from a fire from you. And they smile and say, "Would you mind if I had some of that?"
Sure, go ahead. I didn't call you, but have at it.
Not in so many words. And then the rest of the team?
Well, it looks like we got our first assignment. I guess we better follow on.
Yep.
I just disappeared there. Come on.
We can disappear too.
It's a few minutes early, but it feels the appropriate time to flip the back page of the comic tonight. And tonight's letters page is written by Devil Doll, and it is top 10 top 10 rules to date a warlock. Let us move into our end of session moves as we close up an ultimate session down. I am gonna go. I'm gonna go in what ever interests me order this evening, because I think I've done some things to people. So I'm going to ask Sai first how they're feeling.
That's a good question. I'm wondering myself how they're feeling. I mean, they did a lot for the team, and we did a lot, but did they grow closer? Probably did. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because I couldn't see how growing into their own image would help here, because I don't think I want to change any of my labels right now. I can't see where that would be useful. So yeah, I'm growing closer to the team. Why not?
Everyone liked your cooking.
Yeah, exactly. And the person who made me feel most welcome, I think I'll give that to, weirdly enough, Bea, because she got thrown out and she came back. And I kind of felt like, okay, she was so much the underdog, and I really wanted to stick it to all of them, and then she came back and did it herself, and I feel that kind of contrariness.
Yeah, I dug that as well, that bit where Bea, is she part of the team? Is she not part of the team? She's part of the team.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Also, she
well-
called me.
Yeah, let's go across to Bea next then and ask you, close to the team image or away from the team?
I kind of grow away from the team again. No, I'm kidding. I don't see how it's not growing closer to the team given the stuff she pulled. I think this person who made me feel welcome is definitely Rick. I think absolutely. That talk over breakfast was lovely, especially after again the embarrassment the start of this session. So you get to shift my labels.
Sure. I think. Ooh, it's a tricky one. Well, no, it's not really. Actually, thinking about it, it's. I think it's mundane down, superior up.
Oh yeah.
Because like I said, Rick definitely sees Bear as like the person who actually knows what's going on with the whole supernatural world.
Well, let's come to
Yeah,
Rick
someone who just
next.
slice through dimensions. Yeah.
Yeah, sure thing. So I think it's definitely. I suppose it could be into his own image, but I still think it's probably closer to the team. I'm actually going to say Ash. I think it's a toss-up between Ash and Bayer, but Bayer has already rearranged my labels once this evening, so I'll throw it over to Ash, I think.
Ooh, okay. That's a tough one. I'm trying to think how you've been acting this session and how I perceive that.
Well, he's gone over to his vampiric sign and thrown away his mortality is probably the strongest.
Yeah, like you've
today,
effectively, in some ways, embraced your doom that you were trying to avoid, but in other ways, potentially might be still trying to subvert it, right?
Mm.
So let's move your. I kind of want to pop your superior up one, Mr. Bishop, and trying to figure what takes a hit here, whether it's mundane or savior, because you're now in charge of effectively the entire court of vampires. I guess mundane.
Sure thing. And for my bonus, I think I did. Certainly the way I see it is that by kind of him stepping into his father's role, that is kind of preventing his return in a literal sense, possibly increasing the chance of Rick going down the same route, but I think it is acting against his doom.
Cool. And Rick, sorry, was that your end? If that was your end of session move as well, I think we should deal there with your nemesis. Did you make progress on defeating them?
Yeah, so yeah, that's
That was what
that's
you're
what I
saying.
meant. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So yeah,
I was
I
just
think
responding to Leandro's Drives question in
no,
chat.
no,
My
no,
brain
no
didn't
worries.
hear you. Sorry.
No, that's fine. So yeah, no, that's what I was thinking that. Yeah, I think that by essentially taking over his father's position, that is working against him, and it's solidifying kind of that control that he has over the
Sure.
situation.
Excellent. And Ash, for the last, how did you feel? Did you grow close to the team, etc., etc.?
I think Ash definitely grew into his own image of himself. I think in a lot of ways that moment was probably his destiny. And in that moment, he connected with his legacy in a way that he couldn't during his first initiation. Like, I think he's finally fully bonded and has now had his like coming of age within the legacy, and everything he does from here is just going to be awful and unmemorable. But yeah, I think he's found himself in his legacy, and he is the person he wants to be, making the choices he thinks are important, as much as he's probably doomed a lot of people. But hey, tough choices, right?
You made the hero's choices. Shift two of your labels, accept superior, which you locked to your moment of truth.
Yep, his freak's going up, his mundane's going down.
And then let's start with you with any stars, please.
Oh, what a session. There was so much happened. I'm trying to remember what resonated with me. Like, there's the two bits that I think got me the most were Sai just getting so shouty at the council, because, like, Sai can often be quite quiet and reserved, but then actually, like, being provoked to speak their own mind and decry the inadequacies of the world they're being plunged into. And Bea's superhero re-entrance. Like, you are the most stubborn of stains. It is wonderful.
Excellent. Let's go back in reverse order from where we were then. So, David? Any stars?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, definitely stars all around. It was a really, really good fun session. I enjoyed this a lot. Yeah, I really liked, again, to sort of echo what you said, I really liked seeing Sai kind of get angry with the situation in a very, very deserved way. And yeah, I really like them calling up, because like of all of the people who've been dragged into this against their own will, theirs feels like the most unjust, and so it was really cool seeing them that kind of moment of like, yeah, no, seriously, screw you guys. I mean, the obviously, I mean, it like kind of goes without saying, really, but as I'm the first person going after, I get to be the one that says it. So yeah, Andrea, that moment of truth was absolutely like spot on. Both like the whole concept of, yeah, no, seriously, I'm gonna like just fuck up the this court. And then the way you described it was just like absolutely perfect. It was an amazing moment. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah, as I said, I feel it's an easy score there for me, however. And yeah, Leandra again. I loved the sort of in our conversation. I just love that whole bit of it. It's like where see, like it's that whole thing of like, yeah, where like certainly for the last session, so it's like yeah, Bear's been playing Monster Hearts rather than than Masks, and it's and I really like that sort of just that moment of like, yeah, no, it's like I wish I didn't, I wasn't just dealing with all this like petty bullshit, and that was just such a nice like counterpoint, and such a nice like take on the beacon as well. Yeah, Dave, just like really liked everything, the way everything flowed together. I liked the bits of the character we got to see when we actually got to the court was really nice. And one of my favorite bits actually is just like such a really tiny moment, but it was just like really, really nicely done. I thought was using that failed roll of size to have like someone recognize them briefly. It was just like such a kind of cruel, in a good way, moment. It was yeah, I really, really liked that. I thought it was just a pitch perfect reaction there.
Cool. I can't remember, I did Sabine or Leandro, in which order you went in, actually. Let's say Sabine. Leandro then. Leandro.
No, Sabine can go first. Oh, no, great. No, I'm on the spot now. Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. That was absolutely superb. I'm sad that David got to shouting out Ash's moment of truth first. Damn it. Not to say that was only Ash's great moment. I've always loved their like just quiet determination to do what's right, and that kind of flaring out and seeing like, and yeah, just like going ahead and just like, no, we've got to like do better, and that being the impetus to like just go ahead and do it. But yeah, and also like the quiet moments afterwards when I was just like, I'm really tired. It's just I'm really tired, and that nice little moment of everyone having gumbo before it was, horror. It was ruined. We'll get to Dave there. Yeah, I did love Sai again, just standing up for themselves, and just being fed up, especially at this point in the story when like they're close to like figure stuff out. I'm glad that like they chose to come with their friends rather than finish their crossroad ritual for Papa Legba. And poor Sai. And I also I was very glad for that conversation and breakfast with Rick, and just him being kind of like, again I keep praising the accent work, but being like just the smooth kind of like together counterpoint, and then him having to like to step up to his sister as well, taking that responsibility. It's just like he seems terribly unflappable, except for like that moment, I guess, with his sister. But it was nice to have the counterpoint. Listen to Bea moan about, I'm playing Monster Hearts when y'all are playing Masks. Take me with you. Moment. And Dave, other Dave, you're the way you pull these strings is so much. Like banishing Bea out of the court was brilliant. That person recognizing Sai was brilliant. Just letting things escalate to the point where let's banish the Midnight Court, and you just letting that go. It's like, that was brilliant. Rick's sister being there, being like, you can just take over the court. It's birthright, whatever. Again, it's just the right kind of choices to push people along into, having to like, make interesting choices themselves. Was absolutely lovely. That was honestly a really incredible session of Masks.
Yeah, you might be playing Monster Hearts, but everyone else is playing Urban Shadows. I just don't realize it. So
yeah, absolutely playing Urban Shadows.
So that's fine. You at least get the smoochies. They just get like family drama. Do what you will do, and all that sort of thing. Sabine, any stars from you? Oh, sorry, Leandro. Do you have anything?
No, I just have a silly comment. Never mind.
I want to hear a silly comment.
You believe this is the second smooch I've gotten in the game this week?
I'm just actually gobsmacked because I whenever I roleplay with you, there's smooches going on.
Doesn't usually.
It's true.
Maybe I just bring that smoochy side out with you, Leandro. Me.
Yeah, stars. Yeah, everybody said everything, so I'll just do a quick reiteration. Ash, moment of truth. Yes, epic, as it should have been. Rick, poor Rick. Now he's a vampire, head of a vampire clan. Congratulations, I guess. Not so sure. And Bea picking up the sword, going back to the court, like, you don't throw me out. No. I kind of I love that. That was pitch perfect Bea, and yeah. So yeah, I've had fun, and everything anybody else said as well, David, about the whole session, how you put it together, that was nice. Liked it.
And my star is just for the smaller moments you put in, about all the big world around you stuff tonight. It was let's cook gumbo, let's have a coffee and deal with relationship dramas, let's have a heartfelt moment with my dad. It was those sort of things which you'll take control and de-escalate the situation, have those moments are great, but I sort of felt as a penultimate episode I did have to escalate the situation a bit tonight as well. Any wishes? Let's go back in the other order for our final session, because I will also say that I sort of like, by the end of this session I've made a choice. Are they still in the shadow world, or are they going into the world of heroes? Didn't see what you did coming, but that's my joy of playing to find out, because it was so much fun. And you're going like, yeah, I'm sure we'll finish this all off at the end of the next session. We're going, oh right, that's how, if we're going to come back to the second volume of this, that's how it would work. Choices you have wrought. Sabine, any wishes?
Yeah, I kind of wish that we didn't have a prolonged thing where the three of them rushed to Bea, the novel hovel, and I was with Papa Legba. I really wish that wouldn't happen, because that kind of feels like I'm sitting there and everybody else is doing interesting stuff.
Say that again. Sorry. Let me step back on that. You would rather you would be with them and do your
Yeah.
We will change the back end of that panel. No problem.
Okay, cool. Because I feel that might end up with them doing interesting stuff and me talking to Papa Legba, and I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much, and also everything else was a lot of fun today, so more of it.
No problem. Leandro.
Yeah, I kind of feel like not to like to predict too much what will happen, but I kind of feel like, at least for me, Bear slicing through back to the Midnight Court is kind of like the apex of her arc. So I'm just fine like taking a step back and letting everyone else get to like what they need to do. I'm just looking forward to having fun next week, basically. And I'm just putting out there that I think beyond what happens in the novel hovel, kind of like Bear's arc is almost pretty much completely done. So like if what other folks need the spotlight, I am happy to give it away.
Okay, David.
Yeah, actually, I must admit my feelings are kind of similar to what Leandro just said. I kind of feel like, I suppose the way I can see it is like I'd really like to see a bit more of like size stuff with the lower, once we deal with the immediate threat. But like I feel almost like this session was the big climax. This almost feel that like I almost feel like the next set, like again, to go to the sort of like Marvel TV series style thing, it feels like up to this was like kind of the big first season establishing arc, getting everyone together, and next session almost feels like it's the episode where you're starting up the second series. It's got that kind of, it feels like we now have a team and a specific purpose, and a specific, like, the team has come together, and now we're going into our day job, if that makes sense. Now we're going into and now we're going to spend the next 6 months dealing with whatever supernatural gubbins pops up. So yeah, so broadly, after that rambling is to say no. I'm just looking forward to seeing what we get done next session, playing about a bit. I don't have any urgent
Cool.
goals. I'm just looking forward to playing by ear.
Okay.
Thinking about it, something that came to my mind, which I think is one of my really big wishes for the next session, is that as long as it doesn't end on a cliffhanger, I would be quite interested in real epilogues for the characters, because we've changed the world quite seriously, and I'm kind of interested in seeing how that affects us and we affect it. And because I think like in the confines of the next session, we could just deal with some villains and move on. I think there's sort of like, I don't know, I'm getting a bit rambly.
No, I see what you're saying. Some of the big dangling threads are around the Mary Andrew and Sai arc, right? That's the one we haven't dealt with. But at the end of that, giving time for some like epilogues,
Yeah, like,
and proper sort of wrap up to almost like 6 months,
epilogues,
1 year later.
flash forward. Yeah, exactly. And also, I think what Ash did is technically really awful, and he needs to be punished for it. There's no way you do what he did and get away scot-free and are allowed to just shape the future.
Yeah, the choices you've made will definitely come back up, right? Because what you have done is make choices. So I think we'll probably start with a team fight scene and then look at how we deal with the dangling threads, make some time for some good epilogues, and looking back at Crescent City a little down the road to see what the team and the characters are doing.
Yeah.
Cool. All right then, my gang. Thank you for your time this evening. Let's